Without further ado, I'd like to introduce our speaker of the evening, Education's Manager for Arduino on the No-No. Please welcome Tenaya Hurst.
Hello everyone. I have one of those low voices, so hopefully I will carry. I am so excited to be here, everyone. My name is Tenaya, that comes from Yosemite, and I am from California. And I have been in New York, Vermont, New Jersey. I know, don't judge me. I know. Teaching all over. I started at NYSCI and had a great winter. I just decided to come out here on my own to teach because that is really what inspires me. And I'm really thrilled to present to you guys a ton of stuff tonight. My goal is to overwhelm you. That will be the thing. Because you guys came out here, it's December, it's Christmas. I want to show you all the epicness. And if you ever need inspiration or you're like, I don't do enough, well, already to say, I've left out a lot, but I'm going to tell you guys about my whole year, and it's going to include tons of Arduino, wearables, teaching, and my own thing is called rogue making, because there aren't enough maker spaces. So I just cart my little caboodles around and go to church basements and schools and libraries and museums and backyards, and I make on the train often. So I want to, of course, always inspire you guys to just keep doing little projects. And as we all know, the maker movement is about crafts. It is about knitting and, all those making cool cards. But I really think maker movement is when we add electronics to our arts and crafts. So, without further ado, we'll get started with all this fun stuff. So, this was the old Tenaya. This was actress Tenaya, who wore crazy costumes and walked her wiener dogs down the street, and I was in this show called San Francisco Follies, and everything was going great, so yes, I'm an actor. I also have a degree in geology and anthropology, so I'm trying to supplement, but that's not what I'm only anymore. So I got a job at the Tech Museum. I just happened to Craigslist search for the word earthquakes, because I was like, I need a job with something I love. And they have a lab there called Engineering for Earthquakes. And the Tech has awesome lab instructors for the field trips, but they did not have a geologist. So I was like, I am in. So you can see we have a chem lab, I taught physics, and lots of electricity. And we have labs on magnets and all kinds of fun stuff. So if you're ever in San Jose, the Tech Museum is in the center of San Jose, right across from the Fairmont Hotel. So come visit it. And I started with this physics class. So you can see some of the epic things I inspire my students to make. And even back then, I went seriously rogue. So you can see in the classroom, it gets a little chaotic. I'm that teacher that's like, yeah, tape to the walls. Yeah, tape to the power cord dropping from the ceiling. Why not? Maybe just use tape on the wall. I don't know. But Tinker Toys obviously are a great way to make this. And if you haven't done this yet, hours of fun at Christmas. Just get some insulation piping tubing and then cut it in half, get a marble, go wild. And what I would always do is whenever my students guessed the answer to a certain question, which is, what is that physics word for when our marble is slowed down on our path? Yes. Friction. Epic. So if you were on a team in my cool physics of roller coasters class, I would give you the switchback. Because I love to teach kids that some of our first roller coasters in this country were switchbacks of mines. So on the weekends, people would go ride in the mine cars. So, oh yes, hello. Hello, lower level, darlings. All right. So I love to show them about that switchback, and you guys live closer to one in Pennsylvania, so the first roller coasters, awesome. Then I had this electricity class. This is just electricity. And I'm not exaggerating, you guys. This is the photo. This is like the predecessor to the next moment I'll tell you about. So I had these, all this stuff that kids can make a switch out of. We had a table of insulators and conductors. And that's all we were supposed to do, encouraged to do, is, add a switch to your lights and your battery packs so you have control. But then I turned my back for a second, and this one class made this epic spinning motor, using the popsicle stick thing, and I was like, whoa, look what kids can do in a team. And when I don't give a ton of rules. I mean, of course we talk about short circuiting and everything, I wouldn't want anyone to get hurt, but I kind of let them go rogue, and look what they made, so cool. Then the day happened. The day. March 16th, 2013. So I was a lab instructor during the week, and my friend Bridget said, Tenaya, I'd love you to come in on the weekend and help us demo this Arduino code. But she probably didn't even tell me that magical word yet. She just said, yeah, just come in. So I arrived, and my friend Romy Luttrell, he made this code. So what's going on here is there are pads of conductive fabric on the sleeves, and then I was grounded to my wrist. And so when I would shake people's hands, they could play my code. That's the idea. And obviously this is a kids museum, so you can see very neutral locations for people to touch my Wearable-Tech. But I will never forget, seriously guys, I just like all the guests, I would go up to them and say, hey, do you know what an Arduino is? Check out my code, let's play it. And then this one little 5-year-old I go up to, and he goes, oh, I know what Arduino is. Like a cocky 5-year-old. And so I always think of that guy. I was like, he knows what an Arduino is, and this thing has been out since 2005. I lived under a rock, and my grandpa was an electrical engineer. I had a fire. I was thinking like, I'm gonna know what Arduino is. So, what is it? Well, you can see these are all my favorite mispronunciations. My favorite is, of course, Arduino. And some of my friends are like, is Arduino a new Arduino coming out? And I'm like, no, it's hard. So, and then, no joke, some of these ones, I met this guy from Missouri, not Missouri, Missouri. And he was like, Arduino. So, any way you slice it, it is a cool word. And in my spell check, maybe you guys too, it wants it to be Adriano. And he's one of our software developers actually. And Arduino, that's one for SATs. And arduous, again, Arduino. Yes. And it does come from, does anybody know where that word Arduino comes from? Anybody went to Italy? And know a king that was around like 1050 AD? Nah, me neither. But there was just a king called King Arduino, and the founders just got together in this place called Bar Arduino. So it's really creative. They were like, let's just call our board after where we're sitting. So that's where it came from. Now, with that Wearable-Tech code, I then went home immediately and Googled Arduino and saw that there was a lily pad, a wearable, and yes, I wash it. You know, they won't say it's washable, but I do. So I do wash it, and so this is the one that's just like an Arduino credit card shaped, but you can sew or solder to the pads on the outside, and then they have pin numbers to control things. Yes. And then, so ultimately what I designed was kits to just work with just a battery holder, as you guys saw in some of the samples, because learning to sew with the conductive thread is its own journey. And this epic diagram came into my life. Whoa! I will send this to anybody who wants. But all this time, again, I was under a rock. There's this whole Wearable-Tech industry. And these are all the categories. We've got security, medical, wellness, sports and fitness, lifestyle, computing, communication, and glamour. So, you can guess which slice of the pie I'm involved in. Can we guess? Glamour, yes, like my darling cake right here, yes. So then that's where I'll mention, has anybody noticed how my jewelry is illuminated? What's controlling it? Yes, ma'am? There's lights, definitely. Ooh, things that I'm talking about. That's a clue. You know a lot of stuff, you know a lot of stuff, but tell me, yeah. Batteries, definitely. Coin cell, my fave. Anybody in the back notice what makes them light up? My voice, definitely. So, but if we had music bumping, whether it's violins or heavy metal, they would go to the beat. And door slams, they love door slams. Yes. So, I was like, I get this. Okay, we get a little circuit board, we make our little circuit, and then that's what Wearable-Tech is. Yes. Wear as many lights as possible. This is actually a really cool Japanese artist, and that model had to stay put because she's plugged in. So I was like, maybe it's not quite that, but I'm gonna go on this journey. So I started making stuff. I had a friend who had a son who was graduating, so I made her like a little light up hat thing, dollar store. I found this scrap of fabric that looked like a one, so I was like, great, I'll make a little flower. And then it's all about the alligator clips to prototype. So that's what I brought for everyone tonight. When we're done, we can break and do that. Awesome. And then I started learning about Arduino too, because basically a week after I learned what an Arduino was, which we'll cover in a second, I was being interviewed to teach at a summer camp called Tech Summer Camps. Now these are Silicon Valley kids, they have every opportunity, but they really are epic and I had a great experience. But they came to me, the actress geologist, and said, we can't find anyone to teach Arduino. Like, we have no one. And then we wanted to teach Wearable-Tech, but we can't find anyone for that either. And I was like, oh, I know what an Arduino is. And so they picked me. And I knew I had to start developing my curriculum. So I started doing the circuits. I made my little breadboard piano, you know, trying different DC motors. I learned about fritzing. Who's a fritzing fan? What? It's the best, you guys. Go home and download it. Homework. I'm a teacher. Homework. Take notes. So then I also realized, I was like, oh, I like to make sort of rogue style. Like, you miss your plane? Get out your soldering iron and just get some lipless done. Just do it. They don't care. And then I make on the train, so you can see I needed a blipless necklace. I was on the way somewhere in Manhattan, and so I made it for myself on the spot. And also in the tech museum, late at night, we would make until we got told we couldn't do that anymore. So that's where it started, was with all my gal pals, my lady makers in San Jose. Then, this is still just like 2 months after, what is this Arduino? It is a microcontroller that can control lights, sound, and motion using programming and sensors. So that's my elevator pitch. And if you love Arduino, you know too, you're gonna get asked what an Arduino is all the time. Sometimes I say they're in our microwaves and our remote controls. So like when I put, you know, a carafe of water or something in my microwave, it senses how much water's in there, and it senses when it's out of boil and then it stops. You know, you press the popcorn button, it knows what to do. But this is an open version. So I went to my first Maker Faire. So who's a Maker Faire fan? I know I met some of you at Maker Faire. Ooh, more homework. Next September, I want to see y'all there. We'll see some pictures. And so I went to Maker Faire, and this is definitely part of the story, okay? I was on the master cleanse. Who's a master cleanser? Who likes to drink maple syrup and lemonade all day long? Okay, cayenne. So, why I mentioned that is because at Maker Faire, there are long lines for food. So I had a break from working at the Tech Museum, and I took that 1.5 hour and went, oh, hello. Maybe it will come back for me. There it is. Am I just downstairs now?
No, you're here.
I'm just right there. Okay, I will still speak loud. Maybe it'll come back to us. Thank you, I love you, Microsoft Beats. So I met Federico Musto because he was announcing the U. And I was like so excited. I'm like, I just found out about Arduino. Now they have a new board. It's Linux, it's Wi-Fi, Epicness. And then I used my other half-hour break, not to get food, to go talk to him. And without shaking him, because we were across the table, I just said, you know, Federico, I am obsessed. I love this. I want to help in any way. I'm sure you don't have a lot of women working for you, but I must work for you. Yeah, work it. And so he basically hired me. He's like, send me your resume. So you need a job? A job? Go to Maker Faire, meet cool people, collaborate. And he is the epicest. Making up new things. So also at 2013 Maker Faire, I found the LED shades. So has anybody seen these before? Oh. I should pull out a pair then. Show and tell. I think I have the white ones here. There they go. Yes. Should be going advertising for me. And they're shutter shades, my peeps from the 80s, shutter shades. And we have a little button on the side so you can reveal the next pattern. So they're very theatrical. And they have a rechargeable battery. They're basically an Arduino doing a Lenovo on this side, and you just plug in with USB. And I'm often rogue making, like on my laptop in my car before I'm off to a party. So you just change what you want it to say, like, "What up, Microsoft Store Robotics Meetup?" And then you press upload, and you're good to go. So the LED shades, they are definitely part of my look. And I have red, white, and blue. My green ones, they need some help. So we can all try these on in selfie, and they'll be up by the hardware. So that'll be fun later. All right, LED shades. I also made my first fully realized product, Arduino. Because I was at something we have in the Bay Area called Workshop Weekend, and people fly in from all over the country to take this workshop. And we were learning about the LED strips. And they're really cool. Each one is RGB, which means red, green, blue. And you can get 768 unique colors from each one. And if you guys know the NeoPixels from your local Adafruit, it's a similar thing. So with Arduino, you can see there's the end of the Yun popping out. And Arduino is totally famous. Let me post a blog, @Mel. I'm like, it's just a dog with lights on it. But they, I guess, don't care. So Arduino is also on Hackster, so you can check out how to do it. It is, of course, very simple, but I wrapped it around this wiener dog shape. And you guys can see I have one that's not lit up, but it has those cool rainbow wires here. Awesome. I also just started getting asked to teach workshops. So I never intended to have a business or little products or anything. I really didn't. But people were like, Tenaya, you know how to do this. Can you do a birthday party? Can you come to our team building event? Whatever. And so it began. And there were some failures, for sure. At this workshop, this was for Valentine's Day, and we put 5 red LEDs and 5 pink LEDs together, and it didn't work. And I was like, what's that about? So we'll learn that in our activity. It's something about forward voltage. Different LEDs have different properties. So see my dress? It was a little more rainbotic earlier. But since my battery is getting more and more wimpy, only the red lights have enough electricity to light up. But there will be a moment later on that I will put in a fresh battery for you when the party starts. All right, so what did I learn in these workshops? What do kids like to make? Well, like tons of things. But what I found is they love things that spin. So you can't go wrong with a DC motor. And some of these students, and I know I was there, so I'm trying to relate to you guys, but this guy, he just put electrical tape on this cork, and then it spun, and he saw how it was transformed. So, I let kids go totally rogue, try different things, use all my corks, use all my tape, whatever. And over here, this is seriously the coolest thing ever. This boy has his battery pack powering the motor, but then he put LEDs on aluminum foil tape on a chopstick with a coin cell battery. Oh my gosh, and when it spun, it had this green thing. It's weird, it's not really like a thing, but look how epic he did. So cool. And who loves the snap circuits? Aw, yeah, snap circuits. They're the best, right? They have the electrical engineering symbols on them, and you learn, and oh my gosh. So, being at the Tech Museum, I taught a lot of boys. And this was a new experience. So what I learned is boys are competitive. And they wanted to take all the battery packs and unite them for the most power. And then they wanted to go outside and launch the spinners and, let them go just over the Tech Museum. So what I learned is let them do that, but set boundaries. Because we ended up having a big squabble over, that wasn't fair, yours launched before mine, and all that. So let boys be competitive and go rogue, but set a couple boundaries. That's not what's it. And when someone's like, oh, Tenaya, I'm not totally inspired, no diss to all your cool, epic stuff. I'm like, well, I've got an extra wiener dog laying around. Maybe you could do something. So this gent, Isha, one of people's names, he made a spinning fancy weenie top hat, also to the side, like I would mine. And when it spun, there were also LEDs on it. Very cool. So #fancy weenie. There's a few pics of that guy. And the art bot. So this is a project. I have it on the Etsy. I'm all about this one. Because what we do is we get kids wire stripping, twisting the wires, copper taping, so not soldering, and then electrical taping. So they're going through that full process. And then the cup is purely our vessel. And then the idea, but it doesn't have to be, and I never show these to students in my workshops, I keep it vague. But the idea is you get your DC motor with a cork on top with a couple popsicle sticks. And you might try making it something like a helicopter. But if you make it off balance, then it'll go like whoa, 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 whoa. And it'll kind of lurch and draw for you. And of course though, teaching boys, they became battle bots. Bots of war. The art of war. They were so hilarious. the other best quote from this workshop, "It's turning on its master." Classic. But you can see googly eyes and mustaches are essential. Must. And once in a while, we make something we don't intend, like the accidental fez. This, of course, cracked me up. I will try to keep myself contained. But this poor guy, he's so shy. He's like, "Tenaya, I was trying to make an art bot, but it was an accidental fez." And I was like, "That's awesome! You have a fez, and it's like Illuminati or something. You know, like, what's going on?" But then, turns out accidental fezzes, intentional fezzes. So these are his friends. I swear he is really happy to be wearing a fez. But the idea caught on. And these are bubble tea cups. Bubble tea fans? Yeah. I don't drink bubble tea stuff, just so you know. Awesome. Now, the LED shades. What do those inspire? Well, of course, everybody wants to own them because they're epic. But this was in my Wearable-Tech class, and I had these two boys from France, and they're like, "We want to make a t-shirt, but we also want to make glasses like yours." So they're using the conductive thread and glue gun to just attach components to the outside of sunglasses. And they drew out their design and everything. So also teaching boys about Wearable-Tech. They go some crazy places. They really do. Like these crazy guys. So this young man, he made this in like one day. He cut open the bubble tea cups, and he just was like, "I want them to look like yours with the battery on the left and everything." And then this is in Guatemala. Every time I see a sign that looks like my shades, that's a good pick. And then this is just another example of the weird things that boys do in my classes. They're like, "Tenaya, I want to sew lights inside my snow goggles." And I'm like, "Go for it." And that little foam layer, go for it. Okay. So they turned out pretty well. Pretty nice. So one of the LED shades. And then, oh God, Arnav. Oh, Arnav. This guy, he just sewed lights onto a face mask. And then for the fashion show, he had his friend lead him down the runway. It was hilarious. He also, he's sort of wearing them, but it's blurry. Maybe not, maybe put them down. He took cardboard and made Wolverine claws and sewed the lights into the cardboard. Super hard, 3D, imaginative. So, and he was a little bit hard to, work with throughout the week, but then they come up with this epic thing, so you gotta love them all. They're so cool. My little students, I'm so proud. Awesome. And then this is also legendary, Samantha's zebra vest. So, faithfully, we were looking through the fabric one day, and Samantha cries out, "Hey, Tenaya, do we have any zebra print fabric?" And I say, "No, I guess you're gonna have to make some." Well, this is what she comes back with. So she just made this super creative thing. I was so proud of her. She made this on her own. I don't bring patterns to the workshops or anything. So sometimes, again, those mistakes, or you don't have the right thing, and look what they innovate to do. Awesome. Ooh, we're gonna get to the summary now. Okay, so are you guys ready? Because this is some high octane stuff. This is all the stuff that happened this year. OMG. Okay, so AT&T Hackathon Palms, January 2nd. Don't worry, I won't go through every single day. So at AT&T, they have this hackathon system. It's awesome. At CES every year, beginning of the year in Vegas, massive hackathon, 220 teams. Total freedom to innovate anything you want. So you've got to be there. It is so amazing. As you can see, thousands of prizes, all the cool sponsors are there, tons of food, people just sleeping on benches all night long, and, of course there's some good prizes. Some of the best ones I saw, I think I might include some. Oh, this is what it looks like. Here we go. So, total chaos. And I saw, there was one that won last year called Anti-Snoozer. So it had face recognition, you put it on your dashboard, and when you did this, it knew and it beeped to your smartwatch or to your phone, or again, the output can be whatever you want it to be. Maybe a little vibrating pager motor, something like that. Who knows? But anti-snoozer, that was great. There were a lot of people at the hackathons designed for if you have a heart attack. How would we know? Like if your phone drops in a certain way, and does it call an ambulance right away? Maybe not. Maybe it's something on that smartwatch. So that's really hip right now. And then of course remote entry. Like to let that UPS man in or your Airbnb. Very cool. And this is also, it takes a lot of internet. So you're always tripping over cords, and this is a gal that wanted to help with Lily, and I was like, that's what I'm here for, yes. And then what's totally an honor is this is the judges table, and they literally thought Arduino was like a project at the AT&T hackathon for $25,000 prize, and I was like, it's a dog that lights up. And they're like, no really, this is the winner. And I was like, okay, I love this dog. So maybe they do because of the dollhouse. So it was so neat. AT&T made this cool little dollhouse, so you could, in your team, hack the garage door / dog door. There were lamps, there were window blinds, all kinds of heating, and like really cool. So mini version and live demos. So epic. While I was at CES, like another best moment of my entire life happened, where this sweet article came out in Make. So Dale Doherty, he started Make Magazine along with Sherry Huss and some of the other awesome people on that team. And like, I just can't even so believe it. He was like, yeah, tonight in my article, I'm gonna write about you. And I'm like, nice. So it's not just about me, it's about how like we wanna have more mentors. And so if I can be that for any awesome kids out there, encourage them, that's what I want to do. And you can see I kind of get carried away in the airports I'm traveling in. I'm like, look, it's the magazine I'm in. So, shameless, I gotta do that. But I was on my way to Florida at the end of January. So M2M, machine to machine, that's like a really cool thing going on right now too, because we want like tech in our lives to act without us even knowing about it. And there's some really epic companies that came to this, and it's all about that Internet of Things, cloud, and the necessary infrastructure, I say, because these guys in their suits would be like, yeah, this world couldn't function without us, and that kind of thing. So M2M, and of course, I rock the shades, that's what I do. And here's just some cool things. This is Rob from Digilent, so he gave a really cool talk about making it work, and how if you're so lucky to have a job where you can tinker and try new things, that is really lucky. And I was at the airport doing my little thing where I take a picture of me in the magazine, and I met this guy, and he said, Tenaya, you should come to Guatemala. I'm gonna call you. I want you to come to Guatemala. I was like, okay, that'd be awesome. I bet you call, maybe. So, airport meeting. Then I got to go to New York City Fashion Week on Staten Island. So was it the real deal? I don't know. But I got these awesome models, and we shot this great photo shoot at Staten Island Makerspace. And if you guys haven't heard of them yet, they're up and coming. They're like getting their borough president is like in their back pocket, and they're gonna have this really big facility right off the ferry. So I know you guys don't like to leave the island, but it's a nice view. You can get off the ferry building, and it'll be right there. And they have this thing called a steam wagon that they brought to Maker Faire. It's so cool. So the fashion show, then hackathons. Who's been to a hackathon out there? Ooh, we know he has. He's been to that one. So there's a website called Hackster, and they're awesome. They're like a neutral website where you can look at Arduino projects, Pi projects, and all the other hardwares, and you can browse like baby hacks, and then up will come all these like baby cribs with like temperature sensors and stuff. So browse it, it's awesome. And they bought a DeLorean, and their idea was, we're gonna have hackathons in 10 US cities, bring the DeLorean, people can make a connected car hack, or they can do whatever they want. And the idea was we were leading up to that date from the movie, like October 20th or whatever it was, in the movie. 21st? Thank you. I did just watch it recently, I should know. This was available to hack, but in Seattle, that was on like the 7th floor, so we had to come down to check it out. And as you can see, I'm into the photo shoots with the DeLorean. That's what I do. So in Seattle, here's some epicness happening. Again, DeLorean party. And here's a young maker. So there weren't a lot of kids that came to this one. I want to see more kids coming to the hackathons. And then we can see this team used a Lenino that I gave them, which is this guy right here. And it's basically a version of the Yoon. We just made them under both brand names, and this one goes right into the breadboard like the Yoon Mini. Oh yeah. And then of course I got to debut my latest maker song. Maybe we'll bring that back. Maybe we'll do that tonight. We'll see. So then we went to Portland, and in Portland, having so much more fun, meeting really smart people, you guys, and just like talking about the future of our world, like what are these products going to be. So I also learned from the Autodesk folks how to design a case for the Yun. That was really helpful. So anybody into the 3D printing out there? So, a little bit. At Maker Faire, you'll see way too much of that. It's awesome. And of course, photo shoot with the Dorian. You know, that's what I do. And Arduino. I'm trying to get people to make me a pet feeder. They didn't quite do it yet. Then San Francisco, that's my town. So we take the photo shoots to new levels. And we had this awesome photographer. And oh, there's my weenie. Don't worry, there won't be too many pictures of him. But that is Woodchuck. He is demonstrating the Biff shocker. So, what this was designed for is if Biff tries to steal your DeLorean, it will shock him. But we just use LEDs. No wiener dogs were harmed in this hack. But Woodchuck also was very proud to demo the first pet feeder that someone made with my inspiration. So you can see just a little cereal dispenser. It's so cool. And does anybody know Q-Techno? Quinn. More homework. He is a young maker. His parents do work for Intel, you know, asterisks. But basically from the age of like 9, he wanted his own hardware company. So he's like a 16-year-old now, 15-year-old CEO. And what does he come to the hack to make but a smart beer tap? I was like, and this is him explaining this to me. Like, I don't drink alcohol, so I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, you know how some companies let you have beer? Well, you could have like a key card that allows you to get like 2 pours a day or something, and regulates it and keeps track, you know? And I was like, okay, that sounds logical. There was also the coffee pot that blinded you in the morning. It's like, as if the coffee wasn't enough. That was like totally insane. And again, the pet feeder, Woodchuck was a happy customer. And this little like ramp that came out and like rotated so you could feed multiple pets was really cool. He was digging it. And then we went to LA, you guys. Oh my God, downtown. So we had soldering with this like amazing view. It was so beautiful. And really smart people, this is like the quintessential photo of the hackers. Deep in thought, focusing. What are we gonna do? And I got you before my song, always. And this is a dress my mom made in the 60s. And these are all the judges. Does anybody know Anouk? A-N-O-U-K. She is the queen of 3D printing. She's worked for Intel, probably Microsoft. She made something called the spider dress. It debuted at CES last year. Gotta check it out. She's fabulous. A-N-O-U-K, Anouk. Make her friends. And then we went to Phoenix. So there's a company out there called Local Motors, and everybody has got to get one of these. OMG. This is called the Drift Trike. Oh my gosh. It is so much fun. We actually brought them to our hackathon in Brooklyn at Kickstarter. Oh my God, tearing up the streets of Brooklyn. It's so much fun. But they are a company that makes custom vehicles. They also were on the cover of Make magazine. Jay, their CEO, they've made the first 3D printed car. It is awesome. And they brought it to Maker Faire one year from Phoenix. So super cool. And then, we got some young hackers. They were so serious in doing their project. It was amazing. And this is like the funniest hack. This is called the Party Bot. So we would crawl into a room and like poof, some confetti and like big streamers and everything. So it starts the party for you. I don't know if that's something essential for the future, but it worked, it functioned, and I was one of the judges, so that was important to me. And, it is time. It is time. So, are we ready for some music video action? Oh my goodness. So I will be on the side, I will be singing this live. Feel free to watch the video, me, whatever. But I hope you guys enjoyed us, and I hope we have our blessed sound. And we don't, but that is okay. I could still sing along with it, but that would be silly. What should I do? We have our Bluetooth speaker. Maybe I will try rebooting it. Ooh, that looks good. That looks good. Okay, we're gonna try it because the beginning is loud. There we go. It's on. It's on. go, you still look pretty. This thread is steel. It's stainless steel. This thread is steel. Sew it head to heel. This is how we make, yeah. Sewing it, connecting it, yeah, we make it like that. This is how we make. This is how we make. This is how we make, yeah. Sensors and outputs, parallel circuits where it's at. This is how we make. So. This is how we make. When I dream of a wireless community, we use that's Arduino. Software, of course, I care, code it right through the night and just use Ballerino. Now think big, get the gig, teach the kids how to learn, fail, and be a maker. At my soldering class, road making in the grass, we're gonna need more than an acre. Lipless is surreal. It's got appeal. You've heard the spiel. Lipless is for real. This is how we make, yeah. Solder and melting it, stuff resistors into PCB. This is how we make, melt. This is how we make. This is how we make, yeah. Capacitors, resistors, LEDs, we blink it like that. This is how we make, so solder. This is how we make. And this is my shout out to all the ladies at the robotic meetup. That's right, boys, we're coming for you. I'll teach you. And shout out to all you makers prototyping at Maker Monday, but it's Tuesday. That's right, some late night making. And one more shout out to all you kids buying Wearable-Tech with your rent money. It's electric. This is how we make, yeah. Coding it, controlling it, micro is the internet of T. This is how we make, decoder. This is how we make, yeah. Drilling it, milling it, yeah. Dad, we're cutting into wood. This is how we make, drill. This is how we make. To all you makers, going to sleep with an idea and waking up with a plan. Exactly. And don't forget about those OG makers like our grandparents. Respect. What? Wait, no. Bring the heat back. Oh yeah. Because there's more to this year of hackathons. Oh. Maybe you'll spot my wiener dog one more time. Awesome, you guys. So you can see that is another way that I evangelize, that I help get people into making. So I hope you dig that song. It's on the YouTubes. I have 2 others, but that one was pretty fun to make. But I missed the Dallas hackathon. I did to make that video. That's okay. Awesome, you guys, you did awesome. Let's now go to Louisville and let's check out these hacks. Because we went to a company called First Build. So they're like a company, a variation off of GE, General Electric, and they had this makerspace with refrigerators, with stoves, with like all kinds of these like kitchen appliances. So the theme was Hack the Home. So what we're looking at here is a front and a back of a smart shower. So wouldn't it be great if everywhere you went, the shower knew you and knew what temperature you wanted? So that is what they made with an Arduino. So, it would know who came into the shower. It's a pretty cool idea to control water with Arduino. Then we got lots of crazy things, I'll walk you through it. The winner was Grown. Very cool logo. They made a way to insert into an existing shelf a way to grow plants. So they were growing lettuce. Obviously we didn't grow this in a weekend, they brought in plants. But a lot of people have been experimenting with growing with LEDs. And maybe our future is back to that victory garden thing of like the 40s, where everyone grew a little bit of their own food. I have another friend that you can see on my videos website on my interview for Maker Camp. His company's called Kijani Grows. He grows food with fish. What? He has like a fish tank, and then the water circulates back onto like rocks that with like little microgreens, and then it sifts back through and goes back to the fish. He's epic, so that's my little Maker Camp video. Now here we've got a smart pasta maker. Yeah. Now see, I don't cook. I know how to code Arduino, but I do not cook. So I was actually pretty swayed by this, because it would know how to cook the best pasta. Then up in the right here, we have a smart faucet. So this is what I hear at hackathons, you guys, all the time. We know the baby boomer generation is getting older, and people are like, that's not only like, you know, a problem we might be having, but there are customers for that. So this faucet was smart and knew if it had been used with frequency. So for example, say your grandma, you know, like can't get out of bed one morning, so she doesn't use her faucet. Then it would, oh, there we go, maybe. It would send you a text message and let you know that the faucet hadn't been used. And you know, maybe she's on a trip or something, so that was the idea. You know, maybe this could be installed in nursing homes, for example, just so people have data on how often you're brushing your teeth. A lot of people have Alzheimer's now. Oh, it's all about the Alzheimer's. But so Alzheimer's patients, you know, they don't remember to brush their teeth sometimes. So that would also keep check. Maybe you could send them a message to be like, brush your teeth, something like that. Now, the refrigerator hacks. Oh my God, you guys, that was hilarious. So we had a lot of people making smart shelves, which, you know, this is my thing about smart home. Like, I think we can wrap our minds around it, because we're like, yeah, I'd have a shelf that would know if the milk was like less than a fourth, so that I could buy it while I'm out. And I don't need to like look before I leave, I just look on my app. But really where I see this succeeding is like school cafeterias, you know, restaurants where we spend all this time doing inventory when really the shelves, we can just look at it like a glance. Like, what do I need to buy? Okay, great. And then maybe it could order it for you. M2M, it's coming, maybe. But the funniest refrigerator hack, you guys, oh my gosh. So this was the problem. I'm carrying my groceries. I can't open the door. So I'm gonna tap it with capacitive touch, and it's gonna open. Problem is, this team used like the biggest, most powerful motor ever, and it was like, ka-kunk! And I was like, all right, watch out toddlers and dogs. Okay, watch out. But it was so funny, and it worked really well. I was like, I need my groceries in there now. So that was really funny. Great. And then one more little tea kettle project here, a very specific need. But these folks were from Chicago, and they said, I want to know that my grandma makes her tea every morning. So similar idea to using the faucet, maybe you only need one or the other. Also, people who are blind, deaf, have other issues. They don't want to get out of their chairs when they know the tea is ready. We have other things that solve this, but that's what theirs can also do. So yeah, Louisville, so cool. Also in Louisville, we had some fun with the RGB shades. So this gentleman, he was so clever. He works at First Build. He was inspired by my obsession with RGBs and Arduino, so he made beardables. Yes. And I know most of the ladies at the hackathon / robotics meetup will know, this is one of those like little like comb, like scrunchy things, and he just kind of opened it up and soldered RGB LEDs to it and kind of hid it up in his beard. Now, no joke, we tweeted this. Someone in New York City Maker Faire this year had beardables. He said he saw my tweet and made it. That is the world we live in. I was like, beardables? He's like, I know. And I'm like, that was me with that guy. And he also helped me fix my prototype of RGB LED shades, because the new version doesn't have this issue, but he just helped me solder it, fix it right up. And this is Adam from Hackster. He was exhausted, so I stepped on him. And then the Atmel trailer, they have this trailer that like pops out to be a classroom, and it travels all around the country. And I must say I've been in it maybe like 6, 7, 8 times. I follow the trailer, and you can too on Atmel's site. And then now we're around July. So I've done like all over Louisville, you know, Phoenix. It's been crazy. So I got to participate in this super sweet thing. And if you guys want to watch this at home, also more homework, there are 6 episodes that are like 2 minutes each, lunch break style, right? And our very own Eric, head of the robotics meetup, what? His team made this epic wearable. It was a bag that if you set it to do so, like say you're at the beach and you're like, I'm gonna go for a dip, but I don't want my bag to be stolen. So you could set it on high alert. And then if somebody touched it, they actually touched the conductive thread. And that set off an alarm. And then say that person's like, this alarm bag, I'm still gonna steal it. then his application could track where your bag was. So the category this is in is asset management. So fancy. So really epic hack. I was all about it. You can see I'm like totally giggly because like it surprised me. It was like an alarmed bag. I loved it. And the other team made, I was considering a photo, but they made like a car hack. So the competition was to go to CES this year. And we had the car team win. I was overruled because you know I was like wearables. That's where it's at. But these are other judges. Sarah, she's from San Diego Qualcomm. And you guys might know Seth Borges. He's like a guy about town here. He writes articles. He's cool. So we were the judges. And then that hunky Jason Silva was the host. Yeah. So Google it. It's on the YouTube. All those references. And I'm just in the 6th episode. But you can watch the journey of what Eric's team and the car team made. Super fun. Then, you remember back in January where I faithfully was in a magazine shop and invited to Guatemala. So you know I'm gonna say yes to that. So we had this event called FIT and they were all about it. They brought me down and I'll show you guys some of the other sponsors. So I got to be in 2 Guatemalan newspapers. Like how lucky can I be? But you can see I got my yun. I actually have a yun on my hat and I'm holding my lily pad with my blitless. We brought the tech. But this was another fun one we got to do. And in Guatemala, like the quote that they love the best for me, because I was like, remember that pie chart I showed you guys about Wearable-Tech industry? There's a slice of the pie for military. And in Guatemala, they like their military. There's a presence. So they were super into that. But I'm not really sure who Tenaya Hurst is. I don't know who she is. Sometimes in summer I'm Tenaya, but that's okay. So if you know Spanish, we'll see, but explica Hurts. No, I'm just Hurst. Not really the Patty or Willie Randolph, but that's okay. Awesome. So what we did music hacks. So you can see these guys, we added an Explorer to a guitar and it controlled RGB LEDs and cool patterns. And then we made a ukulele version. So awesome. So combining music and tech. And then I also got to teach a wearables class. And I forgot the alligator clips, you guys. I remember them tonight. But these awesome Guatemalan students were like, lily pad. Let's just tape it down to paper. Let's just prototype with the conductive thread. So you can always go rogue. And here's some of the students working on their projects. These guys actually used an Arduino Mega in their Christmas tree hack. And these guys made a cool little Mickey Mouse hat and a stuffed animal that sang you a lullaby. It's really cool. And here's some more epic prototyping. Turn signals. That's one of Leah Buthley's first projects with LilyCAD. And in Spanish we call it flechitas. Definitely. And then what was so neat is we got to go out and meet some of the cool people that live on Lake Atitlan. And they have a makerspace. No joke, Microsoft is a sponsor. I was like, I'm in the middle of nowhere, Guatemala. I'm like, Microsoft sponsors this. So they have a wood shop, a sewing studio, 2 computer labs. They teach HTML, Scratch. So epic. So I'm going to be going there and teaching again this year, in 2016. And so there's the whole crew. Hackaday's a sponsor. Vex Robotics is in on that. So super cool. Autodesk, of course, that we can help this university of like really talented students that have some access to tech. We want to give them more. And we're keeping on going with this year. We're almost there. So this is pre-Maker Fair. I was helping out the Staten Island Makerspace make a sign. And we had an event at New York Hall of Science, and I brought my Guatemalan friends. And then here's some peeps hanging. This is Dr. Arduino. Do you guys know him? He's local. He's out in Long Island. But Dr. Arduino and my friend Ali, such a bromance. Oh my gosh, they're like inseparable all night. And then we also invaded Autodesk and the Admiral Tech on Tour trailer, came to Micro Center. It's epic. And then we set up for Maker Faire, so I got to hang out with my RGB LED shades friends, Q-Techno, my Guatemalan crew. I brought them all to the Arduino booth. And of course, Intel had this cool show. I applied for it, but I didn't make it. And then this is how you would have noticed me at Maker Faire. That's Saturday, that's Sunday. So I got to carry around this crazy Instagram sign. So if you check us out on Instagram, there's just tons of. This was heavy. This frame was heavy, I swear. And then post Maker Faire, we all ended up at the same epic place, Nick's Pizza in Queens. and they have one of those Victoria Arduino awesome coffee machines. So we took our whole crew pick. It was so much fun. Then I went to New Jersey, visited the Foo Bar. I found a cool sign that said Steam. Got to stop for that. These are just fun, quick things. Then I came back to San Fran, and we went to this event for Raft, where they sell reuse items. Like basically, big corporations throw away like foam and plastic and corks and stuff. So we had a fundraiser, and I didn't mean to, but our team won the engineering challenge. But I had some good teammates. Then I went to San Diego Maker Faire, make it work. Craigslist, rideshare, get to San Diego, do it. It was so much fun. Look at this epic circuit. Who's gonna make that one tonight? Try it out. Then I went back to the Tech Museum, International Day of the Girl. So we had a really fun tech idea, and again, so cool that they embraced me, road making at the Tech. And then I went to Autumn Lights Festival, which is so fun. So now you guys were deep in Make-tober, because October is always way too busy. But this was such a fun night in a garden. So it's a Burning Man in a garden in Oakland. Epic. And I'm wearing this new skirt. And then we had East Bay Mini Maker Faire. The biggest, most like crazy mini maker fair. Because everybody's in East Bay and we're like, San Mateo's in May. I can't wait. So Make-tober, we had Maker Faire. Then I went to Autodesk Invaded. Got to teach some Wearable-Tech to the college students that they brought in to show them all their cool features. So lucky to be invited. And then I went to teach at Make magazine for Halloween. So cool. Some of Star Wars fans, check out this girl made a backpack, and here's her prototyping, and then that's what it looked like when she finished. And then I did this event for like, I'm not sure, no, it was at the Computer History Museum, and total tangent, if you guys have these cool like printer caps, save them for me. I'm like obsessed with them, little orange ones, yeah. And then I hung out with some of my cool OG makers, Danny Swartzman, and this guy's John. He was famous. He was on Survivor a couple of years ago or something. So again, wannabe LED shades, even on him. And you can see I rock the RGBs. That's where they're at. And we're almost there, guys. I also started this trip at NISI, and we made some cool wearables. I'll be back there on the 27th on Sunday. And then check out this paper circuits. These girls were like, I want snow on my car. So they went and got some sugar packets. That is rogue. I was so impressed. And then BumbleBots. This is my new totally obsessed project. So you can see I give the kids like just a couple little pieces of things, and we put our pager motor and our battery with like a little paperclip switch. It is so much fun what you can make with it. No two are alike. And then lastly, slide with words, because we are wrapping it up. Oh yeah. So these are all my little tips. For those of you who want to continue making, if you get roped into teaching a workshop, you want to have a lot of volume. So get like, I know we don't all have a raft, but get lots of cool little plastic things, save foam, bubble wrap, I don't know. Just have things around so kids can choose. And then have some materials specifically for your activity, and then little extras people can add. And go shopping, really fun. And then we want to set boundaries, right? Especially for those boy makers sometimes, because it will still be fun. And then save that extra wiener dog or something special for a student who may say, I'm just not quite yet inspired. And then celebrate the mistakes. When a DC motor breaks, say, that's awesome, we can take it apart and see what's inside. And lastly, repetition. So like in the ArtBot, some parents are like, you could have wire stripped those wires for them. I'm like, that's what the workshop is. We're learning in repetition how to wire strip. So awesome, you guys. This has been so much fun. We have a whole still chunk of the night where we can check out cool things. I've got some paper circuits. I'll put out some wearable prototyping, and we're going to hop now. And I'll have the LED shades and the Arduino boards up here, and then I'll put out some activities on the table. So, Eric, Robotics Meetup, thank you guys so much for having me. You roll.
Oh.